Доброго дня. До слова запрошується речник адміністрації президента.
The floor is given to Presidential Administration spokesman on ATO-related issues, Colonel Oleksandr Motuzyanyk. Good afternoon, dear journalists. Now the events that happened in the ATO area during the last 24 hours. In Lugansk area, the militants delivered fire and armed provocations starting from Lopaskina village to Stanitsa Luganska. Also, there was tension in Zhovta village area. The enemy used APCs, grenade launchers, and machine guns. And also in Stanitsa Luganska region, they used grenade launchers and small arms. The hottest area in Lugansk area was Nova Alexandrovka. There, the militants launched 8 shells with the use of 122 artillery units and also 13 mines from mortars of 120 mm of caliber. And in neighboring Novosvanovka, the militants used grenade launchers and small arms, and also there were sporadic armed provocations near Krymsky and Staraya Aidar villages. On the whole, in Lugansk area, the militants 14 times violated ceasefire. At that, they used twice heavy weapons and twice armored vehicles. And in Donetsk area, half of shellings were at Svetlodarska Balch and in the region of Avdiivka. Near Lugansk village, the militants delivered continuous fire of the ATO forces positions, starting from 5:35 till 8:45. Also, they used APCs, grenade launchers, large caliber machine guns, and small arms. Near Avdiivka, the illegal armed groups used grenade launchers and small arms. Also, they used mortars, and they launched 28 mortar mines at our positions. Moreover, the militants used mortars in Neversky and Mayorsk. And on the whole, in this area, the militants launched 42 mines, and near Zaitsevo, the militants used grenade launchers, small arms, and also they delivered 1 shelling with the use of APC. This was during dark hours. On the whole, in Donetsk area, there were 16 enemy shellings, including 4 with the use of heavy weapons. And the biggest number of shelling from the side of the militants was delivered in Mariupol area, 31 shelling. The militants delivered fire on the front lines starting from early morning 5:24 till midnight. The militants actively used APCs, grenade launchers, small arms near Starognativka, Mariinka, Shirokina, and Bogdanivka. Also, the militants used mortars 82 and 120 mm mortars 4 times. This happened near Krasnogorivka and Mariinka. But these shellings were of provocative character because the militants launched 1 mine each time, and only in one case they launched 6 mines at once. And the Ukrainian forces were forced to repeatedly open fire in return. And on the whole, during the last 24 hours, 1 Ukrainian serviceman was killed and 2 were wounded. We express our condolences to the relatives of the serviceman who was killed. Losses of the enemy: 1 militant died, 6 were wounded. These losses were sustained by 11th and 9th Regiment and also so-called 7th Brigade of Russian occupation forces. The militants continue to carry out reconnaissance activities. Our servicemen and bodyguards recorded 7 flights of air drones of the enemy. 1 of these air drones was launched from the territory of Russian Federation. According to the information provided by the Chief Intelligence Department of MOD, Russian commanders plan provocation to discredit Ukrainian armed forces. Yesterday, 7th Detached Motorized Brigade deployed in Debaltseve were preparing for blowing up one of its frontline positions that is placed in Nizhny Lazove village. They plan to make this explosion in presence of live news correspondents, and they want to show that ATO forces use artillery, heavy artillery. And also the militants have nervous breakdown because of a difficult situation and the prospects of aggression of Russia against Ukraine. 9th August, the militants in Avdiivka area, they blew the storage facility for ammunition in Donetsk, and Oleksandr Motuzyanyk, the commander of the brigade, is now heavily wounded, and he is in hospital named after Kalinin. And also yesterday, deputy commander of Howitzer artillery division that of so-called 7th detached motorized brigade deployed in Debaltsevo, Alexander Zapolsky, was he heavily wounded Russian officer because he threatened him with a gun and forced him to shell ATO positions and peaceful residents. There are new records that Russia deliver equipment to ATO area, to Kuznetsy village of Novazovsk region. They sent 6 tanks, 3 self-propelled artillery systems and APCs, and to Sorokina they brought 5 trucks. Ukrainian servicemen continue to confiscate weapons. In Piski, as SBU officers found cache of arms with ammunition. They confiscated 146 mines, 120 detonators, also 19 charges, 13 different of different caliber, 125 millimeter gunpowder charges, and the militants plan to use this ammunition against ATO forces. One more militant used the program of SBU, They Wait For You at Home. In May 2014, the men joined the militants in Lysychansk town, but in a week he understood that actions of militants caused death and injury to peaceful population. That's why this man left the militants. He was hiding for a long time in Russia. Then he got information about SBU program, and now he cooperates with investigation. Training are on the way. Artillery paratroopers delivered shelling at the imaginary enemy battery, and also they corrected artillery fire with the use of air drones. Also, artillerymen in Lvivshchina improved their skills. They carry out some technical tasks and special tasks in accordance with the curricula, and the most of these servicemen took part in ATO operation, and they improved their skills there. And also the officers of one of the units of Armed Forces of Ukraine in Lugansk area had some firing exercises. They were trained with the use of RPG-7, Kalashnikov gun, Maxim machine gun, Makarov pistol, and also armory of APCs. Also, tank operators took part in exercises and demonstrated high professionalism. Also in Mykolaievshchina, command and staff training of Air Forces of Ukraine continue. This is called Sky Shield 2016. They destroyed the aerodrome of the imaginary enemy, and first they created a group for attack. There were bombers Su-24 and Su-25. They also intercepted imaginary enemy MiG-29, and they successfully completed this imaginary action, this training. Thank you. Do you have questions? TSN 1+1. So this map we see and the information that you provided So if you compare this use of weaponry during this day and the previous days, how did the situation develop? Can you compare? So we do not see deterioration. Of course, the situation is unstable and is really difficult, but it is controlled by the armed forces of Ukraine, who carry out their duties in this area. The enemy uses small arms, large caliber machine guns. Also, the enemy uses the armory of APCs. Also, we record half of shellings with the use of heavy weapons. Mainly, these are mortars of 120 and 82 millimeter of caliber, and also the enemy uses the artillery 122 millimeter of caliber. And if we speak about redeployment of the militants, they use it during 24 hours, so they are constantly in movement. They make rotation of their units. They improve their battle skills. Do you have other questions? No, there is no. So thank you.